So it's ticked at 1 p.m. here in Australia, in Melbourne, and my name is Alexander Stojanovski, or Alex if you prefer, and I will be making the most of the Property Dashboard Education Week training session. I'll give you a quick introduction and we'll get on a start as well. So I am an SMSF support team leader here at BGL Corporate Solutions, and I've been here for about 8 years now, and just supporting clients and helping them get the most of our products. Please note, I will be doing the demo today using Simple Fund 360, but this will also be available in Simple Invest 360 too. Before we get started, just a bit of quick housekeeping. Today's session will be running for around 30 minutes. The webinar is being recorded, so you will be able to watch it back or share it with your fellow team members later on. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them into the Q&A panel at any time. I'll go through as many as I can towards the end as well. And lastly, no need to worry about taking too many notes. The slides and recordings will be available after our session today. Just a quick note as well. If you are an active CAS 360 user, we have our final training session today at 3:30 p.m. Your guide to the AML, CFT, and CDD compliance in CAS 360. You can still register for that now. And if you haven't already, it is a great one to attend to if you are looking to stay on top of any AUSTRAC compliance requirements. Now let's take a quick look at today's agenda and what we will be covering. See there, just with the new property dashboard and how to input and track your valuations, how to add, update, and monitor property values over time, managing rental income and handling invoices, ensuring rent and expenses flow through correctly, and then the integration with third-party services and providers, connecting your property data with external valuations and management tools. Just before we jump into this live demo, I want to just quickly highlight everything I'm going to show you just reflects the idea of having that one-stop shop for managing your work directly in Simple Fund and Simple Invest 360. Just a quick one for those who do not know, Simple Fund 360 is our cloud-based solution designed to automate compliance, accounting, and tax lodgements while giving you that real-time visibility over your fund. Simple Invest 360 offers the same powerful automation and reporting tools, but for companies, trusts, and individuals, making investment management and reporting seamless across all entity types. With both products, you no longer really need to rely on spreadsheets and external tools, and that comes with that extra cost. The screen has been completely revamped to give you that full visibility and control. So whether it's for an SMSF or an entity holding property, you can visibly and control. So whether it's for an SMSF, and the same side of things will work well. So this BGL's new property dashboard will be great. And if you are interested in learning more about these products, please reach out to your account managers. I will switch over to our demo now. So I've got the property dashboard here in front of me, or the fund at least. And the easiest thing is you'll be able to access it just by going into investments and property dashboard. So you can see here, got screen open. So you can see there is a view there for entities and your global. So if you switch over to global, you'll be able to actually pick up multiple properties across all your SMSFs and entities. Across the board here, you will see there is a valuation warnings. This one's been entered in, so use this as you wish in terms of how you want to filter it by. It's just one way of checking if you have valuations entered in year on year. You can also do it every 2 or 3 years if you prefer. So you'll get a little notification in your top left corner here. So for global, you can see for my current entity view, I've got The fund's set to 30 June 2025, so no error or warning does appear. But if you click onto the global view, you see here something set for 30 June 2024. If you haven't got a valuation set, that will also appear. We'll switch back over across. So you got also the ability to search for your properties and filter it much quicker, as well as the filter options here. So there is a label here for linked to related properties, so you can have that toggled on or off. So if you want that, you can do so. Same thing for disposed properties. I'll cover that a little bit later. So if you have a disposed property, you have that toggle there also. Other areas you'll see that there's a debt column, so anything that related to LRBA, that will appear. The equity, just the difference between your market value and your debt. Market value, which just represents your valuations that you've entered into your properties. And then your net rent, which is a part of, if you go into the property, it will pick it up from the rental section, which I'll cover in just a moment. And then the depreciation, which is linked also to the property. I will make a quick mention here. The fund is selected as not registered to GST. So if you want that to be appearing, you just need to go into your fund details. I'll quickly just show you where that appears. And the option just appears there. So if you want to enter that and edit that, that can be done just there. We have a little section here for external service providers as well. I will cover that a little bit later. Just note with loan providers and depreciation schedule providers, there is no direct, I suppose, link into the property dashboard. A little bit different with the valuations, which I'll cover in just a moment. We've got a property summary statement as well. So this property summary statement, you can generate from both entity and global view. So I can give you a quick look at it. You can have the toggle on for displaying current properties. So you got account view, property type, etc. for the sort by. So you got the PDF and Excel options there. Go ahead and save that. And just open up just to have a quick look at what it does look like. We'll have to drag it across. Give me just a moment. There you go. So that's just a quick view. You've got the PDF version, you've got the Excel version there as well. This gives you a bit of information about the fund name, the investment, your property type, address, and then you've got valuation and last valuation date there. So just a small thing there that you can use. I will cover the invoice dashboard in just a moment, but I'll quickly just show you how simple it is now and how much everything is in one screen for you when you are adding the property. So anything in terms of property now, you can simply add. And what it will do is that it does link your income and your expense accounts, anything related to your property when you create it, does that automatically for you. So I'll go and quickly create one here. You can see it pre-populate. So if you've got something that's already taken, it'll just mention it. I'll just add an extra 2 in here. 9 doesn't matter. And then you can select the type. So the property type, is it a residential property? Is it non-residential, overseas, etc.? So I'll just select non-residential for this sake. And then you have the option of subject to CGT, LRBA, and if you want that to be reported. Now, for this sake, for the purpose of testing, I'm just going to hit save for now. So you'll see how quick we'll save that. I'll do that for you. So again, with securities, of course, if no one is aware of the security list, generally when you had to create an investment with properties, at least now, you don't have to go and head into the investment securities, go and select new security and create that. The system will already do this for you. So it'll save you time and it'll save you effort in that aspect. The only thing you'll need to make sure of is if you are using that, you will still need to record the property purchase transaction. And then here you can add the valuation as well. So I can go ahead and put a valuation in here just for an example. and save that. You can see that error will go away based on the valuation warning. Hopefully I'm not going too fast for everyone. I'll just quickly open this up and just show everyone what it looks like when you do select the property once you have added it in. So you can see in this example, I've got subject to CGT, and let's just say I've forgotten. I've said, oh, wait, it's supposed to have LRBA, and we do want to report that in the annual return. It's quite a simple fix. You just need to click on the property and just toggle those options on. And if you want it to be linked to a related party, you just tick that one as well. So you have the options to do that at any time. You don't have to delete and restart. It's all there and ready to go once you have, and it does auto save. There's no save option. So if you toggle this on, it will save. And if you untoggle it, it will do the same thing. It will save. So quick, just adding in the valuation. That one was what I covered just briefly before. I'll go through something that I've done earlier. And you'll see with this one, there's a couple of tabs. So, you got the valuations tab. That one's quite self-explanatory. I mean, you can do a few things in here, which I can quickly show you. So, for example, you can see the source option or the document option here. You can add the valuation. You can request for a certificate, I guess a certificate if you're getting that through through BGL. We have the option to do it with Acumentus and Property Pricer. We'll cover that a little bit later though, before I get into it. Next part of that is just the rental. So if you do have rental property statements, for example, you'll see you'll be able to generate it directly from the property dashboard here with the option on the right-hand side. Just note that with this, with BGL now, we do have the smart docs. So if you have taken or want to take that one step further, you can start uploading rental statements directly into Simple Fund 360 or Simple Invest 360. And the AI will read and extract the income and expenses details for you. And it'll do that automatically and it'll generate those transactions in the system. So you can essentially just post them. So by the time you're reviewing this dashboard, when you're here, all the data should already have captured all and categorized all your items for you, giving that a real accurate and time-saving approach. And just being able to assess your property's performance as well. So pretty straightforward. You see I've got some property income and depreciation already brought up and posted in. Again, with that, I'll just bring up my transaction list and I'll just show you so that it does make sense. So I've got some income here posted in and the depreciation is already posted in as well. So I've done that. So depreciation, generally, you either have the opportunity to post that manually or if you're going to do it from I'll quickly show you whereabouts you would locate the depreciation. So in this section here, so if you've done it through here, that's where, the data will pick it up from, making sure everything comes in and together when you are generating reports. So for example, if I go in here now, go to rental, and if I want to view this rental statement, it will generate it in a PDF format. And you can see there, the property income depreciation is filtered through, no issues there. And if you've done it through Smart Docs, same thing, it still will filter through and do that for you. Another thing that I will switch over across to is your cost. So this is another example that if you haven't come across yet, the screen will show you your transaction dates or related dates. I'll go and show you another example actually, which I've set up before. So for this one, you can see there is a valuation of $2 million entered in. So that's just the purchase that I've recorded. And then for the cost section here, I've put it in as a purchase cost on the 1st of July, 2024. So essentially from this point, you get the opportunity just to categorize these transactions, giving you that full visibility and control, whether it's increasing or decreasing the cost base of your property. It gives you a clear snapshot of all the contributing factors, helping you stay on top of your investment and making informed decisions. So I'll show you a quick example from the transaction list. So you've got the purchase there, and I've already got the cost-based adjustment just to say that this is a part of the stamp duty of the property. So you can put the descriptions, of course. I haven't gone and done that, but from there, you can actually do it in here as a cost element. So you can see I've done the purchase and I've done the stamp duty. There's other related elements you can choose: land tax, repairs, insurance premiums, etc. So if you want to go ahead and select that, you can. Otherwise, you have other columns along the row here. So if you have a loan, this will be anything that you have LRBA selected for, and it will bring that balance across for you. Don't know if I did it for this one. I think I did do it for my property here. So I'll just show you a quick example. So you can see I've got a balance of 100,000. And that will bring up the loan account for you as well. So you can enter a bare trust name if you would like. For insurance premiums, this is just if you have anything recorded directly against the property expense account, which is related to insurance premiums, that will pick up the balance for you. And you can put the provider's name in here if you do want. Same thing with the title section. And then for disposals, this one's a little bit different. So this is more or less just if you have a property disposed of, which I can quickly show you what that would look like. I'm just going to go into my next financial year and just give you a quick look at that. So I've just got my residential property here, and I'm going to go ahead and dispose this in the transaction list. You still do need to post the disposals from the transaction list. You can't do this from the dashboard at the moment. Go ahead and do that so you can see I've disposed of the property. Now I'll go back into this tab and I'll just refresh it just so the system can see it is now disposed of. So that's where this little filter option now comes into play, because you can untoggle it or you can do it from the bottom as I've done so. So if I go in here, it will tell you it's being disposed of, but how it works with the disposal tab here is it'll give you the date and the status, as well as the link part of the transaction. You can add documents if you may, if you would like to do so. But if I click onto that link transaction, it's just going to take me directly to my transaction where I've disposed of that property. That's pretty much all it does there. So now that I've covered most of this, I'll just quickly I just want to go back and show you the next part of it all. So you'll see a little toggle here now that I think this is probably pretty much the biggest wish list item that most clients have been wanting. It is being able to create invoices from the property dashboard. You see here the invoice dashboard now. That is where you'll see existing invoices. I'll show you how to create them in just a moment. I just want to show you a quick little toggle, and it's the settings option here. So when you are creating those invoices, you'll have this option where you can set a default due date, a next invoice prefix, and which one you would like it to be for suffix, as well as setting a default bank account. So if I go back now into my property dashboard, and let's go ahead and select one of my properties, and let's now go into creating an invoice. So if I go ahead now, click on create invoice, you'll see now that screen opens up where you can go ahead and select the invoice, and you can go through and do a few things here. So I'm just going to select the recipient, just a random one for now. So with this one, it will pre-fill any details you've got in for the users. So for example, the address, that can be entered in, or it can pre-fill. The same thing as for email. For this sake, I can just, for training purposes, I'll just put in my email to show you what it looks like when I finish this. So I've saved that. So you can enter in a reference and then the invoice number. I think I already have one for 6. The system does tell you, and you can see here for bank account, actually the details have pre-filled across once they've set that. And then what you can do here is start putting in description. So let's just say this is rent. And then you also have the option for GST or not. So you can select that option if you would like, and the system will pre-fill that automatically for you. Just a quick note, at this stage, invoices will need to be created each month or whenever income is received for your properties, just to ensure all rental income is accurately recorded and reflects in your reports. And these, excuse me, the PDFs that get created when you are, once you do hit approve and send, it will generate that for you. This is only one standard invoice template available at the moment, so you won't be able to customize or adjust the layout or design within this screen. So if I go ahead, I'll just switch off GST for now. If I hit approve and send, what will happen now is it'll post the transaction in your transaction list, which I'll just quickly show you what it looks like. And it's going to attach that PDF. So you can see the rent there. It's posted to that income, the asset account, the rent receivable account, just to be sure, and then the income account as well. So that's what it looks like from the transaction point of view. And then this here, which you can see, will send to the email address that I've entered in. You can CC, you can BCC, and you can generate this from in here as well. If you want to have a quick look at it, you can. It's pretty straightforward. One thing I will note is the ABN and the address field that actually pre-fills from your fund details. So if you're wanting to see where that information does come from, it's just from your fund details. So you'll see here the address and the ABN straight from the fund details. So if you need to update those, just note, once you've created the invoice, you'll need to redo it if you haven't updated it. But essentially, once you send this across, it will go into your invoice dashboard and it will show as sent. As you can see here, you can update the status, but it will show as sent. And I'll just show you what it looks like when it comes across into your emails. Or maybe I've changed my email setting. It will come through here. I've got an example here, actually. So this is how it will appear when it comes through. So you'll see it's just the direct email to whoever you've selected. A few things I'll note from this screen, and I'll go back if you're curious to know. I'll just go ahead and show another invoice. Actually, I'll bring up the invoice I just did. So you can actually, for example, if you want to, you can revert this back to a draft. So if you don't want to show as sent and you want to edit it, you can revert it back at any time. So this invoice will be reverted and the posted transactions will also be deleted. So for example, if you've gone, oh, wait a minute, that was not the correct amount. That's not what we want to send, or that's not what we want. This will actually revert it back to a draft and delete your transaction from the transaction list. And I'll make a quick note. When you are hitting the approve and send, there's a little thing that you can see here at the top. There's a little coloring. We've added a little fix for that now, where you can actually make it adjustable from the badge settings. So if I just bring up the badge settings for you, you can see the header color line. So this is just based on your entities that you've attached to the badge. So for example, I'm using the default badge here. So any funds that I'm using or entities that I'm using the default badge, I can actually adjust the color here. So let's just say, for example, I want to go back to a blue color. I'll save those changes. Go back into the invoice and head this back out for a sec. Revert this back to a draft for a moment. And then I'll approve and send that again. And you'll see that that color will update at the top here. That's pretty straightforward and easy to do. So I'll send that off. So I'll see, in case anyone is wondering in terms of the status, say you've accidentally marked something as paid, say I've gone into invoice 6 and I marked it as paid and I was not meant to, you'll see the option there for sent isn't there anymore. But if you click onto the invoice, you can go, the options are up here, but you need to revert this one back to a draft if you want to change it to sent. So if you want to change it to sent, you can do that here. Otherwise, yeah, you can just approve and send. It's completely up to you and how you want to go about it. You can just do the approve and send. If you don't want to send the email, of course, you can just cancel out. It's fine as well. It's fine to do so. So you can just head back into the property dashboard. Something I probably should clarify as well is if you were to delete invoice, it will give you that error as well. So if I go back into the invoice dashboard, and let's just say I want to delete an invoice, just note that you'll also see that message where it says this will delete the current invoice and the associated transactions permanently. So I'll just show a quick example of that. Let's just see if I've got that transaction appearing. Just want to make sure it's there. Yep. I'll go ahead and delete it and I'll refresh so that 8,000 will no longer be there. There you go. So when you're deleting invoice, it will also delete the transaction along with it. I'll quickly go back into my property. I will touch on one more thing. Let me just remove my disposal here. Just make that. There we go. I'll remove that back. So I'll put that back into the dashboard since I've removed the disposal. And I'm going to click onto the property here. And I'm just going to show you a quick thing that you might want to know. So when you are adding an evaluation and you want to do it through one of the providers here with BGL, we've got the two recommended here. Main reason for that is if I put my cursor, you'll already see it automatically does fill out the request form for you. And you will be obviously you will have to go through, arrange the payment with the provider and enter the valuation back into SF360. The one thing with Acumentus though, they actually send back the document. So it'll actually go back into your document screen. With property price at the moment, we are working on getting the document and the actual valuation. So let's say, for example, you've done it with Acumentus and you've pre-filled, you've sent everything, you paid, come back to SF, you've got the document, though you still need to enter the valuation. So with Acumentus, you still need to enter the valuation. We are working with them to get the API so that it does automate everything. So like document-wise, valuation-wise, we are doing the same thing with Property Pricer as well. So hopefully that's not too far off and that will make it even easier for you. But in terms of, yeah, valuations, you can still add the document from the top right. So let's just say, for example, you've got the documents and you want to add it. You click on add. Let's just say, for example, it's already existing. If it's not existing in your document screen, just go into your browser files and just bring that across and drag it in. Just make note with this, if you want it to appear a part of your work papers, you will need to tag it in your work papers. What I'm saying is, let's just say, for example, this is the file. Let's just hit machine of, just put a valuation in. Give me one moment. So I'll do that. See documents attached now, and I'll bring up the documents from the reports tab. Just so before you generate, or if you've already generated work papers, so for example, if this is the one, you just need to make sure that the one you've uploaded has the tag. So if you've got, sorry, the tag's over here. So you just need to ensure it's got the tag in so that it filters through when you generate the work papers or refresh the work papers, it'll bring it through the document into your work paper screen.